Hello, good morning. I'm Sajid, and I have selected a topic in software engineering. This is waterfall model. I don't have a presentation because this is my house. Let me explain you 10 minutes about how the software development process. The explanation about the software development process, and one of the very most used in the software company, in the software model, the software lifecycle development model is waterfall model. So I will explain you about the waterfall model. Initially, in the year 1970, one of the inventor who invented this model was Vincent Royce. That's why it's called the Royce waterfall model. He modeled this structure. It is same as the software engineering concept. Like, for example, the first step is nothing but the requirement analysis. The second step, what he modeled, was designing. The third step was implementation, or otherwise known as coding or development. The fourth step was verification and validation. It's nothing but the testing. And the fifth and final step is the maintenance. So here you see there were many drawbacks in this model. For example, in step 1, when you gather the requirements from the customer, once you gather the requirements, you document it. Once you document it, you give it to the developers. The designers. The designers translate the requirement into the design form. We translate into the design form. Here, when you see, for example, let us take an example. When you collect a requirement, say you collect 90% of the requirement, right? In this model, when the designers translate the requirement document into the design document, there will be a probability that not all the 90% will be translated. Again, there will be an error in understanding. So, for example, there may be only 75% of translation here. Only the 75% of the requirement will be designed properly. Other things will be wrong, right? So now the designers, again, they have to translate the same thing into coding. So the developers, they have to understand the design and then translate into coding. So let us see, when developers understand the design, if the design is not good, if the design is not decomposed, then the 75% of whatever the design is being will not be translated into coding. So here, the 90% of the requirement will be reduced to around 60%. Right? So now, again, when after the coding is completed, then it is sent to the verification, or as otherwise known as verification and validation or testing. So here, when the testing is done, there are many types of testing, right? Functional testing, unit testing, regression testing, integration testing, there are manual testing, there are many kinds of black box testing, white box testing. So there are so many testing processes there. Here, once the testing is done, there is no feedback that is given to the coding team. Here, once the testing is done, we don't know. For example, once everything is over, and here, let us see, only from the 90%, only 50% of the requirement is being satisfied. Once this step is over, then it is maintained, then it is implemented in the customer side. So, as you see, in this model, it is a failure. Why? Because when 90% of the requirement is gathered from the customer, and what is the output? Output is nothing but around 50% to 40%. This is the output. The output is 50 to 40%. So this model is a failure. Later, in the year mid-1980s, there was a slight change in this model. For example, once you gather the requirement in the requirement analysis phase, the phase is called the phase 1, requirement analysis phase. Here, the requirement is being translated into design. Now, the design team, once they design it, they send the feedback to the requirement team. So the requirement team, who are the engineers who are taking care of the requirement team, they understand how well the designers have understood it and how it has been implemented. So this feedback will make them understand the gaps that was there in the understanding, and this will be rectified, and again it has been translated. So there the risk has been reduced. Again, once the design is over, it is sent to the implementation. It is nothing but development and coding. So once the coding is over, again we have to send the feedback. We have to verify. So the feedback is sent to the design. So here we have to check whether the implementation has been satisfied whatever design we have made. Okay. So once the coding is completed, it is sent to the testing. Here again the feedback is sent to the coders. So there is the continuous process. There is a continuous process going on here. Everywhere there is a continuous process. So every process, the amount of risk, the amount of lack of understanding is omitted. So once the verification is over, then it has been sent for implementation. So we have to go and implement it or to the customer side. So this is the waterfall model that is being evolved presently in most of the software companies. There are other software development process models, for example agile model or V model or prototype model or a spiral model. So each and every model has its own interesting aspects of development, of software development. Okay, so this is about the waterfall model, and it's very simple. So I hope you understand this. So I will be teaching you another topic in software requirement engineering. Okay, thank you.